it's me, Anya. Welcome back to my channel. Happy Easter. So for today's video, as you know by the title, this is my original quarantine book tag that I created out of my own free time and for fun purposes. This is not to be insensitive against the actual coronavirus and the fact that we are all in self-isolation / quarantine. Yes, so I just wanted to get that PSA out there because I just didn't want anybody to think that I'm being insensitive, because I know that this coronavirus is a very serious topic and we should all be taking it seriously by staying inside except for essential trips. And one of the essential trips that we are allowed to do is taking walks, hence why I'm outside. Anyway, so I'm looking down at my computer because that's where the questions are. The first question is coronavirus. What's your favorite book that features a chronic physical illness? To be quite honest, I don't have an answer for this one, because after Googling a list of what counts as a chronic physical illness, I don't think I've ever read a story that features one. I read a lot of books that feature physical disabilities like my own, as well as mental illnesses, but those categories don't count for this question, so I don't have an answer. Question 2, quarantine. Who's a book character you'd like to be quarantined with? I would personally choose Luna Lovegood because she's so creative and just absolutely wonderful and whimsical, and she's the character from the books that I think that I would most like to be friends with. Also, I've been compared to her a lot, so I think that that would just be really, really wonderful. So the next question is Wuhan, China. What's your favorite book about a Chinese character and or written by a Chinese author? Also, I don't know if you noticed, but it just started drizzling, so that's a great audio. Anyway, I also don't have an answer to this question because I could think of my favorite Asian authors such as Tracy Chee, Evelyn Sky, Marie Lu, but I don't know if they're specifically Chinese, so none of their books would count if they're not actually specifically Chinese. So again, don't have an answer. You'd think that I would have answers for questions that I created myself, but I don't. Fourth question is new hobbies. What's a book that's outside of your comfort zone? I don't read outside of my comfort zone that often, or maybe I do when I just haven't noticed, because it's inside of my comfort zone, because the more you go outside of your comfort zone, the less you're actually going outside your comfort zone anymore. Because the more you go outside of your comfort zone, the second time you do it, it's no longer outside of your comfort zone, it's now inside of your comfort zone because you're more comfortable doing it. Because the first time you went outside of your comfort zone, it counted as outside of your comfort zone, but the more you continued going outside of your comfort zone, you're still staying inside of your comfort zone because you're more comfortable facing whatever was outside of your comfort zone. I feel like I made that really complicated. But basically, the answer to this question is I don't read outside of my comfort zone that often, or at least I don't notice that I do, because to me it's all gradual. Anyway, the fifth question is shelter in place. What's a book that's easier for you to escape into? So all of my favorites, which are The Night Sagas written by Aaron Morgenstern, but you'll just see it in the photo, Harry Potter written by J.K. Rowling, Six of Crows written by Lee Berdugo, and The Book Thief written by Marcus Zuzak. So all of those books are my favorites. I really, really like them. Yeah, so the next question is Animal Crossing. What's an aesthetically pretty book? I could not go by. I had to include a question about Animal Crossing for this quarantine book tag because everybody's talking about it, because everybody's playing it, and the general consensus that I've gauged is that it's just really cute. And I have not jumped on this bandwagon yet, and nor do I think I will. At least, not while it's still a bandwagon. So, my default answer for this would be Ink by Alice Broadway, but I feel like that's such a basic answer because everybody says that. And even though that is an underrated trilogy, well, since it is an underrated trilogy, I might as well go for it. So, Ink by Alice Broadway, as well as the sequel, Spark. So good. I'm so excited to finally read Skull. I know it's out already, but I haven't gotten my hands on it yet. So, 7. Baking. What's your favorite sweet treats from a book that you'd love to taste? I don't know. Because to be quite honest, my default answer would be to go with the candies from Harry Potter, which is, again, another basic answer. But, there's nothing wrong with basic answers. I don't actually know if I would choose those because, in my imagination, the sweet treats from Harry Potter don't taste that differently from actual, British candies. Because they're probably all inspired by British candies that J.K. Rowling grew up with or something, So, even the candies that you can get in, Harry Potter World in Florida are actually probably American candies that they just stuck in these Harry Potter labeled boxes. But they're actually real candies that you can buy at a much cheaper price at normal, shopping malls and, stores and, wherever you can buy candy. So, in my imagination, these fictional candies and foods, probably taste like real foods and real, actual foods because they're probably all inspired by real foods. So, basically, again, I don't have an answer for this. It stopped raining. That's good. The question 8 is canceled plans. Who's an author that you've stopped reading their books or that you've canceled? I don't really have an answer for this one either because for me, once I read a book by an author and I rate it 3 stars or less, I don't continue reading their books because I feel like if I didn't enjoy the first book that I read by them, then there's a chance that I'm not going to enjoy the next book that I read by them, so I just stop while I'm ahead. So that would be a long list of authors since I've read so many books that there's just so many authors whose books that I just don't read anymore because the first book I read by them I didn't enjoy. So that's just a long list that I'm just not going to get into, especially since especially if I DNF a book, I don't keep track of the book or really the author that much. So it's a long list and I don't really know the length of it because there's so many authors on it. So it's just a long list that I don't keep track of. The last question is reading. Has your reading gotten worse or better or pretty much the same during this time? My reading has gotten pretty much the same. Reading has gone back to normal as I mentioned in my last recent reads video. I've been reading a lot of great books. I recently read a 5-star book, which I'll talk about in my next recent reads video. And yeah, everything's pretty great. So yes, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I tag anybody watching this video. I don't even know if book tags are even popular on BookTube. I don't know if they ever were. Sometimes I feel like I'm new to BookTube, but I also feel like I'm not because I've been on BookTube for 2 years now, but my numbers are so low that sometimes it feels like I'm still new to BookTube. But again, numbers aren't a thing that I like to fixate on that frequently, even though I do wish that more people would follow and watch me, but that's besides the point. I'm digressing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you've been doing in quarantine. Comment down below some constructive criticism because I haven't said that in a while. I used to say it all the time. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Happy Easter.